Now we're going to take a look at a very important concept from the butterfly guard, the elevator. This builds power for your sweeps and gives you seamless transitions from butterfly into open guard. So I've got my butterfly and I've got double underhooks. That is the best option that we can have, right? One of the big mistakes that I see people make is they come in here, whether or not they have double under, or double over, and they come flat to their back, all right? If you get your ankles pinned to your bottom, you're gonna have your butterfly guard passed. You cannot have that happen, okay? So what we want is we wanna keep seated in the seated position, and I want my head to be angled into the neck. Whoever has head control has power, okay? Try to avoid putting your head on their shoulder. Very typical, I see that a lot. I'd like to see your head on the inside. I don't want your neck bent. I want your neck straight, but I want it on the inside track. Now, you can notice that my chest is angled slightly forward. I don't want my back angled towards the floor. Having my back angled towards the floor is just one step away from being flattened back out, which we don't want, okay? So, from in here, nice and tight, I'm gonna bring my bottom into my heels. That's totally different than having my heels brought to my bottom. When I have that momentum from my bottom coming into my heels, I'm gonna bring my hips underneath him slightly, and I'm gonna lift him with my legs. It's a totally different thing than pulling him onto me and trying to lift. You see how my hips didn't move there, back down? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my hips in, and I'm gonna lift him. You feel it gives a lot of power to that lift with the legs. Again. So I've got that inside track. Double in, I'm gonna move my hips in, and I'm gonna lift him up. Back out. So now that we've seen that, my opponent has one of two choices. Either one, he can come back down to his knees, or two, he can go to standing. And it all really depends on what he does, on what I'm gonna do. If I launch him, and he comes back down, that's when we move our hips out. Here, I launch, head is in, nice and tight. So I'm here, I launch, and he comes back down. He's heavy. I'm gonna move my hips out, and again, head control in. Try not to disengage with your head. So now let's look at what happens when I raise him up, okay? So I'm here, I come in, he stands. Once he stands, that's when you can enter into all of your X-guard stuff. And it can almost be seamless. You can launch them knowing that you're gonna go into this.